Hey guys, it's Miss Dinsmore. So I'm trying something a little bit new today. I'm actually going to let you work these problems on your own and then check your work through the video of me teaching while I walk around the room and monitor you. So the lesson that I've chosen to picked for this is 3-4 solving linear equations. This is something new. This is something that I am trying. So it doesn't mean that we're always going to do stuff like this. I'm just interested to see what it's like, if it's more helpful. Me being able to walk around the room and monitor you and watch you as you work. So I'm just here to solve the problems for you. So what you should be doing is seeing a question mark that pops up right before I work each problem. You are going to work the problem, and then after you submit your answer, you will check your work to see if you got it correct. Okay, so this is solving linear equations. This is problem 3.4, and I am just working A, and I'm going to record each step and find the solution. Okay, you're already checking your answer by watching the video. Okay, so here we go. The very first one, I'm just going to go through them like I normally would. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to balance this equation, which means that I want to try to isolate x. I want to try to get it by itself. Okay, so I'm going to take 10 away, that should be 20. I'm going to take 10 away. The easiest thing for me to do right now is to take away this whole number, okay? And if I take it away from this side, I have to take it away from the other side. So that's going to leave me with 5x equals 10. Okay, now I'm going to perform the inverse operation here, or the opposite operation, which would be division. So I'm going to divide by 5 by each side, because 5 divided by 5 would leave me with 1, which leaves me with just x equals, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Okay, that's the answer to the first problem. Alright, moving on, looking over here at B. I'm going to add 10. This time I am adding 10 because it is a subtraction problem there. So I'm going to add 10 to that to create the 0 that I want. And I'm going to add 10 to this side, leaving me with 5x equals 30. I'm going to perform the inverse operation. So I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides, leaving me with x equals 6. Next one. Here, I can see that I'm going to take away 10 because that's addition. However, I need to realize this is negative 20. So I'm going to take away 10 from another negative 20, which means I got to jump left more on the number line. Okay? That leaves me with 5x equals negative 30. Okay? I had to go 10 more times left, or 10 times to the left, okay, to get negative 30. Now I'm going to divide. Okay, now keep in mind, negative 30 divided by a positive 5 is going to give me a negative 6. Alright, you can look at the whiteboard and you can see the adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing, positive and negative number rules. Alright, that's why I have it up there. Please look at it. Okay, I'm going to add 10 on both sides. Okay, this time I have 5x equals negative 20 plus 10, so I get to jump to the right 10 times, which means I'm going toward the positive numbers, and that's going to be negative 10. I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides, leaving me with x equals negative 2. Okay, here we go. This time, if you notice, the 10 is in the front of the problem. That's not a big deal. It's assumed to be positive because there is no sign there. I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to take away 10, and I'm left with negative 5x. I have to keep that minus sign with the 5. That doesn't go anywhere. The only thing that moves is the 10. Equals 10. Alright, so I'm going to divide by negative 5 and divide by negative 5. The x isn't negative anymore. The negative stays with the 5. And with that being said, 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Take away 10. And negative 5x equals, this is negative 20 minus 10, so I have to jump to the left 10 more times, leaving me with a negative 30. Alright, then I'm going to divide by a negative 5. You have to keep that negative attached. Divide by a negative 5. This is a negative divided by a negative, which is going to give me a positive 6. Okay? Here we go. Now, this is a little bit different. I bet you're like, oh crap, fractions. However, these are easy fractions to convert to decimals should you need to. Alright? Not a big deal. We're going to work in the same exact way. So you can convert that to 0.25. If that makes life a little easier for you, 1.50 here and 6.50 or 6.5, however you want to think about it, instead of working in those, instead of working in fraction form. Alright, so I'm going to subtract the 6 over from both sides. I'm going to start with my whole number, leaving me with 1/4 x equals 12 minus 6 is 6. Okay? This is multiplication. I'm going to still divide by 1/4 on each side, and that is going to leave me with x equals 24. Okay? Remember, whenever you divide by a fraction, you are actually multiplying. Remember that. That's a learned skill already. Alright, same thing here. I'm going to take away 1 1/2 because I'm trying, my whole goal is to get this x by him or herself, whatever gender you want it to be. So the only thing that I can do is remove this 1 1/2. Okay? So whenever I do that, that leaves me with 2x equals 5. Alright? So now I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides, and that leaves me with x equal, let me think here, 5 divided by 2 is going to be 2.5. Okay? Alright, let's look at this one. Little bit different, kind of, because if you notice, 3/5 isn't quite a whole number, and you're taking a whole number away from it. You have to subtract that 1. Alright, so whenever you do that, that gives you a negative 2/5, okay? The negative 2/5 equals a negative x. Well, see, you have this negative number attached with x, and you don't want that. Alright, you need to get rid of that, because you could consider that as negative 1x. Okay, so I'm going to divide by negative 1. Remember, you have to keep the sign that's attached to that number, and that's negative 1. And I'm going to divide by negative 1. Okay, well, if I divide a negative divided by a negative, that's going to give me x equals a positive 2/5. And this is a really good instance for you to go back, plug that number in, and see if that's true. Okay? Alright, moving on. This time I notice I have two numbers with x, and I'm going to move over the 10x, okay? I can't move over the 3/5 x, because if I do, that's going to leave that super unbalanced. Okay? So I'm going to just move that over. So I'm going to take away 10. I'm going to say minus 10, minus 10. Alright, that leaves me with a negative 6.5. That's like saying maybe you had $3.50 in the bank and you spent $10, so you're negative 650. X equals 130. Okay? Now you're going to divide by negative 6.5 on both sides. Divide by negative 6.5. And whenever you do that, you get that x equals a negative 20. Okay? Alright. Awesome. Here we go. This is the last problem, I think, for B. So here you notice you have you have two whole numbers, and then you have two numbers that have a variable. Okay? It is your choice. You can decide which number you want to move over first. So I'm going to subtract the negative 15 over first. I could have taken 45 away from 15. It's going to balance out. Okay, so when I do that, that leaves me with a negative 4x equals 10x. 45 minus 15 is 30, so that should be plus 30. Alright, now I'm going to take this away from here, because my whole point is to balance these equations and get this x man by itself. Alright, so I'm going to take away 10x, take away 10x. You've got to keep the x with the 10 there. That becomes 0. 4 minus 10 is a negative 4 minus 10 is negative 6x. You just subtract the whole numbers as you normally would. Keep the x attached. Equals 30. I'm going to divide by 6. Divide by a negative 6, excuse me. Make sure you keep that negative. X equals negative 5. Okay? X equals negative 5. Oh man, I'm looking here at my answer key, and it's saying that I am not correct. Can you find my mistake? Let's see. Negative 4 minus 10 is not negative 6. Wow, it's positive 6, isn't it? Not, okay, so no, it's not positive 6. It would be negative 14. Negative 14. So actually, I am, let me erase up to here. Ooh, glad I caught my mistake. I'm looking and that didn't look right, so really glad that I caught it. It's 2:04. I'm here Friday on my conference period, so I gotta get finished. I have 7th period coming in. Okay, so, wow, I totally messed that up. So here we go. Actually, I'm going to now have negative 4x equals 10x plus 30. Alright, I'm kind of speeding up a little bit. So I'm going to take away 10x, take away 10x. Negative 4 minus 10 results in a negative 14x equals 30. Now I'm going to divide by negative 14. Divide by negative 14. That leaves me with a negative 15/7. Now you can put that in decimal form if you would like to. Alright, here we go. This brings us back to the distributive property. Okay, we have to distribute the 3 to the x and the 1. Alright, so 3 times, remember this is multiplication whenever you distribute, 3 times x would be 3x, plus 3 times 1 is 3, equals 21. We're going to subtract the 3 on both sides, leaving us with 3x equals, what is 21 minus 3? That should be 18. Divide by 3, divide by 3, and x equals 6. Same thing here. Don't let that confuse you guys. You have to distribute the 3 before you want to go into don't add 2 plus 3 first. Alright, don't do that. You need to distribute first. Alright, distribute. Let's hope that I spelled that right. Distribute first. Okay? So, that would be 2 plus 3x plus 3 equals 6x. Now, you can add your whole numbers together, which would be 5 plus 3x equals 6x. Alright? So you're going to take away 3 from both sides. I know I'm kind of getting a little bit faster here. 5 equals, what is 6 minus 3? That would be 3x. Alright, so you're going to divide 3. That's going to be, I'm going to have to write it like this, guys. And that's going to leave you with x equals 5/3. It's funny, my shadow wouldn't, I don't think my shadow will show it. Okay, 5/3, or you could put that in decimal form if you would like. Alright, and the very last one is to distribute the negative 2. Now careful, notice that's a subtraction sign there. Alright, so negative 2 times a positive 2 is going to be negative 4x. Alright, negative 2 times the negative 3 there is going to be plus 6 equals negative 2. Alright, now I'm going to add my 6 to both sides, leaving me with negative 4x equals, what is negative 2 minus 6? That's negative 8. We're going to divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, and you get that x equals positive 2. Alright, I really hope that you liked this lesson. I hope you guys are working hard and that you are learning. That's my main goal for you. Remember, I love you and I want what's best for you. So make sure you keep up the hard work, and I hope you have a great, awesome day.